Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab, and we have another new breakdown for you today. It's going to be on Noah Lyles and really going in depth about the start phase and really being able to maximize your start phase and how that will have a significant impact on your top end speed. So we'll go ahead and get right into the breakdown here. So one on the left is from obviously 2019, and it's when Noah Lyles raced Michael Norman. Michael Norman's right here, Noah Lyles is right there. And it's actually beat by Michael Norman. And then this is Noah Lyles in his follow-up race and being able to almost set the record straight with his running. And I think what ended up happening here on the left is, Noah Lyles is just one of the most dominant 200 runners in the world. And I almost feel like he started to take it for granted a little bit and ended up getting a little bbit humbled by the up-and-coming Michael Norman. And then Noah Lyles responded in a huge way here on the right. And what stands out to me is just, the whole idea of this actual video is the start. So we can see here on the left where, when Noah Lyles starts off, he has a good first step. I think he does an excellent job there. Second step, he doesn't get as good. He starts to pop up pretty early here. And then as he's going, I think that again, third step, fourth step, he's getting a good amount of extension, but the turnover is just not very fast. And he ends up standing up a good amount, where on this one, he stays a lot more low when he's coming out. First step, second step, third step, and he's able to just go through from that kind of start phase into his transition phase way more smooth on the right side. So as he's coming up and through, you don't see any real hitches in his actual movement. He looks like he's going very, very smoothly through that start. But if we look back on the left here, right about through here, he starts to get a little bit of a hitch where he's not getting as much of a smooth transition phase. So now this is where Michael Norman really starts catching up to him, is right in that little bit right there. Right, so we can see he has a good distance here, and then right through here, just because he doesn't really get into that transition phase very smoothly, Michael Norman really stays down and drives and is able to catch a good amount of distance right through that part of the actual run, where you can see here on the right, Noah Lyles really ends up getting separation through this part of his run and really is able to push off and get a good amount of overall distance between the other runners in the race. But by the time he gets around here on the right, he's actually in, you can maybe say first place. Andre DeGrasse might be up with him here as they come around the curve, but he just does a great job on the right side of being able to start really well. And because of that, as he gets around the curve, he positions himself to really get into his top end speed very, very effectively. Where we can see here on the left, Michael Norman's right up close to him here. And, as they get around the curve, Michael Norman has a good sizable lead on there, right? And now what Noah Lyles essentially has to do is really try to catch up to him. And he does. He ends up getting up into his top speed and ends up catching up to Michael Norman. But it just is too little too late, right? And so what Noah Lyles really leans on is his ability to get into that top end speed. And here, because of the start, he's almost able to get into his top end speed even more smoothly here. And it just what stands out to me, and really the reason to do the breakdown is the start, but also really focusing on the greatness of Noah Lyles and his ability to really maximize his top end speed. And he just does a great job of, it almost looks like he's floating as he's running. So as he's coming and transitioning through, he does a great job of staying super upright in his, when he's at that top end speed, right? So he can really does a great job of being very, very light on his feet, right? So as he transitions through, he comes through and touches the ground, and he touches the ground slightly in front of him, but then he's able to push off very, very quickly, and from there gets a nice vertical push. And I would say that he almost creates so much force out of that back leg that his foot might even get too high up behind him. But then from there, he does a great job of being able to cycle that leg back through and then lands with that foot right back underneath him very, very effectively. Let's go ahead and get into some of his numbers here. So, let's go left side, pushes off at, let's say just 8.1, 3.81. And then comes back and touches at 4.21. And then look at the right side. off at 3:57. So I just like looking at that transition time down at 9:4. 9:4. So that's about a 0.37 and about a 0.4 on his overall transition time, which are, those are good numbers for running the 200, right? So for all the different runs, I know we've done stuff on the 100, we've done stuff on the 200. So we're looking at no allows 5:11, and it has a 0.4 transition time on the left side and 0.37 on the right side. So that just means he's picking up a lot of overall distance on each one of his steps. If he's 5'11", being able to get a 0.4 transition time, that just means that he spends a ridiculous amount of time off the ground for the little amount of, let's go ahead and look at his contact time real quick. So he touches the ground, left side at 7.1, and is off by 8.1. So he has a 0.1 contact time. 9.404. Yeah, so both legs he has a 0.1 contact time, but has a very, very long transition time. So again, that means that he's just able to pick up a lot of overall distance. Right when he got out of that curve, he might have had a little bit faster transition time. What we see with the 100 is like Tyson Day or even like a Christian Coleman. Like those guys would be closer to 0.3 on their transition time. So they just have a very, very fast turnover. Noah Lyles is not as much of a fast turnover. While he is turning over very, very fast, he's just picking up a lot of distance because of how vertical he is in his running. So definitely interesting to be able to check that out and see that, and also gives us a clear understanding of why Noah Lyles has such a great overall sprinting mechanics, and why he's so great in his top end speed. Is just because he's able to pick up a lot of ground for somebody that's only 5'11". All right, you guys can go ahead and click the links below. We have some cool stuff within our speed trial, within our speed breakdowns, within different types of free resources in terms of books and how you can get faster ebooks, things like that. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. We'd be happy to help you in any way that we can. Like and subscribe if you like the content in this video, and we'll talk to you soon.